Good afternoon and welcome to my channel. My name is Joyce. If you are new here, and I do all things personal development. If you've not hit the button yet, that subscribe button, please do, because it really does help the channel. I wanted to talk about something that it took me a minute to get through, and there's some lessons that for some people they're really quick to learn, and for others it just takes a little bit longer to kind of get our heads around that. And I think for me, this was one of them. And it's not because I talk too much, but it's rather because I talk to the wrong people a little bit too much. And it's essentially really time to stop talking and start doing. Now, when I say talking, I don't essentially just mean, usual, chatter that you have with your friends and family and close ones. But it's really about talking about your dreams and your goals and your ambitions and things you want to achieve. And the reason why you need to stop talking about it, because a lot of the times the people that we end up opening up to are really not where we need them to be, right? And so there's always going to be some resistance around your capability, whether it's voiced or not, it's there nonetheless. And it can cause quite a bit of a distress, especially once they voice it, for example. Or there might just be those subtle jabs around, oh, have you got that thing going on yet? Or how far have you got with your project, or is it still in your head? Those little jabs that initially come across as, oh, they're interested in what I'm saying, but really what they're saying is, we don't think you could do it, so what the hell are you doing still? I just want to remind you that you're still not doing what you said you were going to do. And so it's really important that you keep it tight. Keep what you want to do within a very tight circle, and that circle should really be people that are either going to help you get to where you need to be, or people that you can always confide in. Because as you cannot confide in every Tom, Dick and Harry. It's really important that you understand that. And it took me a long time. I used to be the first person to tell my family and close ones what was in my mind. As soon as I thought it came out of my mouth. And I talked about things so many times that people were like, okay, so which one are you actually focusing on? Because you keep talking about all of these things that you're doing, and you never get to either of them. And what I needed to have is people around me that would tell me things like, okay, what you now need to do is streamline to what you can do today, or take action in one of the things. I didn't have that. So what I eventually ended up having is just like that really negative feedback that really impacted how I was feeling and eventually how I did things. But I learned, and trust me, I say nothing. I just move in silence. A sentence that you've heard, no doubt, quite often, but a really, really powerful one. Learn to move in silence. The other thing I can do is, I can say around that as well is, focus on the things that you can make a difference on. Those little things, those little buildable ones that actually when you do and you take a step every single day, the impact is humongous. Because you know why? Every little helps. As I said the other time, or recently really, that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. As long as it's in your head, you'll never take that trip. But what you tend to do is to actually take that journey. Start with one step. See the clear vision, because you've got to know where it is you're going. But just take it one day at a time. Is it easy? No, absolutely. But what this does, it reduces the overwhelm that you may feel, and I certainly do, when things are too much. It almost feels like I can't move. And so the best thing for me to do is to chunk it down and take it down a notch and just do it. Okay, what can I do today that will help me move in the right direction and to help me stop talking about it? Because I think sometimes when you're talking about things, it's a way of convincing yourself that you can do it or that it's possible. But you know what? The only person that you need to be convincing is yourself. And often we don't talk about that enough. We almost think that the resistance is external, but I think from my experience, a lot of the resistance we have is within ourselves. We've been told we can't do it. The world confirms that we can't do it. We know we don't have the finances or the capabilities or the skill to do it, or the manpower or the right, reserve around us. And so we end up talking ourselves out of what it is that we intend to do. But I'm here to remind you that you can do anything you put your mind to. And that's not just gibberish. It's actually words that if you take into consideration and take the steps that you need, you will achieve exactly everything that you need to achieve, as long as you can believe it. The other thing to remember also is that every day is a gift. And this really helped me stop talking and start doing. Because when you're focusing on what you want to do, will try to do, you never get there. But once you understand the preciousness of every single day, every single moment, it makes a massive difference in terms of how we do life. Now, I think for me, that really hit home when my brother passed away. He was young. And so every day for me, I am reminded that not everyone is guaranteed another day. Now, getting old, which is also why I don't really think twice about how old I am or how young I am, because often we can get caught up in what the world says about who we need to be, how we need to be doing life. But really, our experiences are there for us to shape our lives and to maximize what it is that we hear constantly. Now, the message sometimes doesn't come very clear. But if you look at the world around you, and I mean your world, not necessarily the external world, there can be pointers in what you need to be doing with your life. And, we always talk about how sometimes the universe or God speaks to you and you don't hear it. It's not because we don't hear it. It's because we are surrounded by noise, and it's so noisy around us that we don't take the time to hear what the world is telling us. Our world is telling us. And so when we start zeroing in on, okay, what is today? What matters today? What do I need to be focusing on? Every 24 hours, your day is renewed. Of course, it means that, you might end up being exasperated. You do get tired. You do get older. People do get unwell. All of that is taken into account. But remember, as long as you have breath, to me, that means that there is focus and there is need for focus and time for you to really hone down on the things that you need to do. So I hope that's been helpful. But it's time to stop talking and start doing. Even if it means you need to put yourself a reminder every single morning. I had to do that. Put a reminder on my notes. Stop talking about your stuff and be about it. Take good care. Hope that's been helpful, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.